Hi, Royce here. Thank you for joining us on our show tonight. It's Royce in the house, and the playlist is Vinyl Album Unboxing. This is show number 7. Last week we unboxed 5 Elton John albums, all pristine original pressings. Prior to that, it was the Beatles. We had Parlophone original pressings, and then we unboxed the White Album, a numbered series White Album, which I call the Holy Grail of Beatle albums. And we've had Creedence Clearwater, we've had Jimi Hendrix, we've had divas, musical divas, and we unboxed the ultimate diva of all time, in my opinion, okay? So join the show. We try to have fun. It's not a very long show. It's maybe 30 minutes-ish. And so tonight we're going to unbox soul music. Now, I was a huge soul fan. You know, 1967, 1968, before we were hearing about Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and The Who and all these new rock and roll bands, it seemed like me, my friends, and everybody I knew was just listening to soul music. You know, Temptations, Otis Redding, Junior Walker and the All-Stars, the Supremes, just so many. There's hundreds of them. Anyway, it was great music. We just loved it. And I can understand, if you listen to it, you'll understand why they call it soul music. It really kind of speaks to your soul. So we're going to get started. And the first album I'm going to show is Supremes. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Diana Ross, this was a big and popular band, the Supremes. They had lots of albums out. They made a lot of good music. And so we're going to unbox this, show you what's in here, read the songs off to you, show you the condition of the vinyl. All right, so Diana Ross and the Supremes, I Hear a Symphony, which was one of their big hits. And I'm going to start off by just reading the names of the songs right off the back of the cover. Okay, so Stranger in Paradise, side 1, Stranger in Paradise, Yesterday. Believe it or not, I mean, the Beatles have been around since, you know, the early 60s. A lot of soul bands covered Beatles songs. So you've got Yesterday, I Hear a Symphony, With a Song in My Heart, Without a Song. So with a song in my heart, then without a song. Okay. Side 2, My World is Empty Without You, Babe. That was a huge hit. My world is empty without you, babe. A Lover's Concerto. Any Girl in Love Knows What I'm Going Through. Wonderful, Wonderful. Everything is Good About You, and He's All I Got. Okay, so that's the Supremes, I Hear a Symphony. And it had some big hits on it. So we're going to pull out the vinyl. First of all, we'll look at the sleeve. And most of this, you know, these are Motown. Motown was the label for the soul music. Detroit, Michigan, Motown. And basically they're just listing a lot of the different soul bands that were out at the time. You know, you've got Meet the Temptations, Dance Party, Marvin Gaye. I mean, Four Tops. I absolutely love the Four Tops. So let's pull the vinyl out and see what it looks like. Once again, Motown. The Motown sound. That was soul music. And I'm going to try to get a little bit of light on this. This vinyl is in perfect condition. There's not a scratch or a scuff of any size on this album. Just terrific condition. Motown. This was great stuff. I still listen to this. I really like Motown sound. Okay, so that's Diana Ross. I have about 4 Diana Ross albums, but there were some songs on this I really liked. And I thought I would pull this one out tonight. Okay, so let's put this back in, make sure nothing happens to it. And the next one I'm going to show you is, I would probably say, my all-time favorite soul band. And that is the Temptations. The Temptations' Greatest Hits. These guys were absolutely fantastic. I feel so fortunate I got to see them twice in concert. Paso Robles Fairgrounds here, right, 10 miles up the road from me. They bring in a lot of big acts, and they bring in some acts that, aren't so big. But the Temptations came to town with the Four Tops. And they came out and played individually, and they came out and played together. And they came the following year too, and I went again the following year. I mean, I just love both these bands, the Temptations and Four Tops. So it's the Temptations' Greatest Hits. And there's a little surprise on the back that I never noticed before. And you won't be close enough to read this, but it says, the linear notes or by Bill Cosby. It's kind of funny. I don't know whether to laugh or cry when I read these linear notes, but I'm going to read them to you because it's kind of funny and kind of sad. This collection of the Temptations' greatest hits is just that, great. This is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby wrote this. Since the first time my wife Camille and I saw them perform at the Apollo Theater in New York a few years back, we have liked their style. In my estimate, there are 3 things that improve with time. Good tobacco, I agree. A woman, I agree with that too. And the Temptations performances. Okay, and it says, my particular favorite on this album is My Girl. Bill Cosby likes My Girl. Because I certainly have enough girls at the house to make this one really do something for me. It's sad and funny at the same time. But anyway, since I made that last statement, I had better select from my next favorite, I'll Be in Trouble, since I'm sure I will when Camille reads this note about my daughters again. Temptations, thanks for asking me. So America's father, Bill Cosby. So you can see the Temptations on the back, dancing and singing. It's all choreographed dancing. These guys were what voices? These guys were fantastic. I love these guys. So I'm going to pull this out. You know, it's like 1966. It's going to be a little, the cover is going to be a little tattered, not the vinyl. So it's typical of the Motown covers. Typical of the Motown covers. It just lists all the other, you know, soul bands. I mean, the Supremes, the Four Tops Live, the Spinners. It just goes on and on. Mary Wells, Junior Walker and the All-Star Shotgun. I got a little story about that in a minute here. Okay, so let's pull the vinyl out, see what kind of condition the vinyl is in. Pull it out carefully. Hold it by the label and the edge. Don't touch the playing surface. Okay, so this happens to not be Motown necessarily. It's Gordy Records. But actually, if you read it along the bottom, it says a product of Motown Records. It doesn't have the usual Motown label. It says Gordy Records. But this. Okay, again, let's take a little look at the vinyl and I'll read the songs on this one. I love the songs on this one. The vinyl, again, this is an old album and it's in pristine condition. There's not a scratch, a scuff, a mark of any kind on this album, and it plays absolutely perfectly. All right, well, let's go to side 1. Okay, the way you do the things you do, you gotta smile. So okay, so that's The Way You Do the Things You Do, first song. The next song is, and that's a great song. Well, they're all great songs. The next song, My Girl, that's a fantastic song. Then we go to Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Story of My Life. Don't Look Back. Get Ready. Okay. Beauty's Only Skin Deep. Yeah. Beauty's Only Skin Deep. Okay, side 2. Since I Lost My Baby. The Girl's All Right With Me. My Baby. It's Growing. Maybe his baby's growing. I don't know. I'll Be in Trouble. Girl, When You Want to Make Me Blue. Okay, that's it. These songs, I mean, I'm sure most people have heard of the Temptations and listened to some of their music, but if you haven't, you're really, really missing out. Listen to the Temptations. This may be my all-time favorite soul band. I love soul music. There was a time, 67, 68, like I said, before all the, you know, the bigger rock acts came out in the late 60s, where it was basically all we listened to, me and my friends, you know, soul music. We love soul music. We'd park out in the desert in Henderson, Nevada in my 55 Chevy. You know, we'd all chip in and buy a gallon of maybe, you know, Red Mountain wine and pass it around in the car and do some other things and get, you know, kind of get buzzed, right? And we'd sit there for hours and just listen to soul music. We might have a couple of friends in other cars and they'd all be doing the same thing, you know. And we had a great time listening to soul music. It's fantastic music. Okay, this next one now, I chose this one. I have several other solo albums. That's why I'm calling this part 1. I'll do another unboxing sometime down the road with other soul music in it. But I chose this one because there was so many songs and so many covers that I liked so much. And this is Dionne Warwick, Soulful. And she was a big blues artist. She was very popular. A lot of hits out. And I'm going to read the hits to you right now because there's some really, really good songs on this. Okay. I've been loving you too long. People got to be free. People got to be free. You've lost that love and feeling. I wish I knew how to sing. Anyway, You've Lost That Loving Feeling. Well, that's a great cover right there. People Get Ready. That's a great song. Do Right Woman. I'm Your Puppet. That was a big hit. I'm Your Puppet. That was a great song. You're All I Need to Get By. I hear that every night from my wife. We Can Work It Out. That's a Beatles cover. We Can Work It Out. A Hard Day's Night. That's obviously a Beatles cover. So those two in a row, Beatles cover, and the last one, Hey Jude, another Beatles cover. That's kind of why I wanted to pull this one out, because there's a bunch of great songs here and a lot of really good covers. So Dionne Warwick, Soulful, right? And well, there's no linear notes down here by Bill Cosby. Kind of bummed about that. And hear what Bill had to say. Anyway, so let's pull the vinyl out. That's what it's all about here. Talk about it a little bit. Tell me, give me your opinion on soul music. What was your favorite? Go into the chat or the comments below. Let me know what your favorite soul band was. What your favorite songs were. I really like to hear from other people on their taste in soul music. Okay, so here we go. This is Skepta Records. Skepta Records. Let's have a look at this vinyl. I wouldn't be showing it off if I didn't already know that it was perfect. This vinyl is in great condition. Look at that. The vinyl is, like I said, not a scratch, a scuff, a mar, a mark, or anything. I mean, I think we're going to find that with everything I show tonight. It's all very old, too. Well, there's a surprise ending. I hope you stay for the ending because it's really going to be a surprise. The finale, the last album I open. It's going to be, might wind up being a bit of a shock to some people that haven't heard this has happened yet. So anyway, yeah, so pristine vinyl, Dionne Warwick. I had an Aretha Franklin, and I got to looking at it real close. I've actually never played it. I'm not even sure. I think it was given to me, and it was actually gospel. And it's not that I don't like gospel music. Elvis did a lot of gospel I absolutely loved, but I decided against it. But I would like to do some Aretha Franklin. She was the Queen of Soul. That's what everyone called it, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. So okay, so that was Dionne Warwick. We'll put that baby away. Pull out the next thing. Now this one, I've got a lot to say about this one. This one's pretty special to me. Now, not only, I would have to say that this soul artist is really at par with the Temptations when I say the Temptations are my favorite. I actually feel like he's my favorite too, and he's paired here on this album with my favorite band member of all time, fantastic guitar player Jimi Hendrix. So this is the Monterey Pop Festival, and we've got Otis Redding of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay fame. If you could find anybody that's listened to that song more times than I have, please introduce them to me. I want to shake their hand because I have listened to that song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, literally thousands of times. Thousands. In fact, I've been practicing it lately on my acoustic guitar, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. So anyway, and before I even knew I was going to do this soul show tonight. So it's Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix. One side is Hendrix, one side is Redding on this album at the Monterey Pop Festival in Monterey, California. And this is a great album. It's really a great album. And let me tell you something. Some people might say, Jimi Hendrix, he didn't play no soul. Jimi Hendrix was a, rock god, on the guitar. Innovator, and most of the time when I read a survey the top 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 top guitar players, it usually winds up Jimi Hendrix in the #1 position. He'll be up there and Jimmy Page and some other people, but Hendrix most of the time winds up in the #1 position. So anyway, so let me tell you about why Jimi Hendrix belongs in a soul unboxing. What people don't understand is before Jimi Hendrix was Jimi Hendrix, the rock god, Jimi Hendrix was playing in all the soul bands. I mean, he played with Ike Turner of Ike and Tina Turner. In fact, Ike Turner fired him. There's a little video circulating on YouTube right now where Ike Turner's being interviewed asking, "You fired Jimi? Why did you fire Jimi Hendrix?" And Ike says, "Well, you know, he had all these pedals. You know, he had this fuzz pedal, and he had this wah-wah pedal, and he had this pedal and that. I just didn't like that stuff, so I fired him." So Jimi Hendrix had his wah-wah and his fuzz and all the other pedals he used to get different sounds out of, and Ike Turner fired him. He was also fired by Little Richard. Little Richard fired him also. Okay, but he also played with, I'll tell you right now, the funniest, for me, the funniest video I've ever watched, and I've watched it dozens of times. Every time I think about it, I'll go on YouTube and I'll do a search. And check this out and tell me what you think about it, okay? I fall out of my chair every time I watch it. I think it's that funny. But it's Junior Walker and the All-Stars, very prominent, you know, soul band, not blues, soul. Very prominent soul band. And Jimi Hendrix is in the band. You know, and this was before anybody knew who he was. So Jimi Hendrix is in the back of the band, and guitar players, and Jimmy, of course, the guitar player. And then there's the horn section. And they're all rocking back and forth, you know, during the song. They're rocking back and forth because that's their role. It's all in, you know, in cadence. Rocking back and forth. And Jimmy's, you know, you can just tell looking at Jimi Hendrix, he's just about to explode. He wants to just start improvising and doing these amazing solos he's known for, you know. So he's playing the guitar, and then he'll get a little bit bored, and he'll put his hand up over the top of the neck, continue playing, then he'll switch back, and then he'll switch. You know, just he has to do something. He can't handle just standing there, you know, maintaining his role like he's supposed to do, like he's expected to do. But this song that Junior Walker and the All-Stars do in this video is called Shotgun, which is a really big hit of theirs. But you watch these two guys dancing while they're doing that song and shooting the shotgun and all these movements they're doing. Like I said, it's so funny. I'm always telling people to go watch that. And I've watched it dozens and dozens of times. It's great. Jimi Hendrix with Junior Walker and the All-Stars. I think they say it's the first video Jimi Hendrix was ever in. First music video. So let's take a look at this now. So that's why Jimi Hendrix belongs in soul music, because he played for all the soul bands before he ever in fact, Ike Turner said in that interview I was just telling you about that you can search for on YouTube, Ike Turner goes, "When I first started hearing about, you know, a Jimi Hendrix being a great guitar player, I didn't even know it was the same Jimi Hendrix I fired. I didn't know it was the same guy." It's funny. You got to watch that one too. So we'll pull it out, you know, a little worn looking, the sleeve, which is okay, but the vinyl itself is not worn looking. Reprise Records, they pretty much were Jimi Hendrix label. I did an unboxing of Jimi Hendrix 3 or 4 weeks ago. I started out with some vintage Hendrix, including my old version of the Hendrix Experience. The vinyl was very, very clean, and then some other Hendrix. But then I unboxed the new 3-album set that was released by the Hendrix family, authorized by the Hendrix family. And it's called Live from Maui. 3 albums, beautiful pictures and stuff inside, big gatefold. The thing's about 3/4 of an inch thick. 3 albums, miscellaneous. There's a booklet inside. It also comes with a Blu-ray DVD with both the Maui concerts on it. You can watch both concerts on your TV. Anyway, getting back to soul music. So we've got, take a quick look at the vinyl. Once again, it's unbelievably clean. I mean, these are old. Monterey Paul, like 69 or 70. Maybe it was 70, I think I read. But it's super, super clean. Okay, so this is the Jimi Hendrix Experience side. We've got Like a Rolling Stone. It was a Bob Dylan cover. Rock Me Baby. That was a B.B. King song. Can You See Me? Jimi Hendrix original. and Wild Thing by C. Taylor. Okay, so those are the songs that Jimmy did on this album at the Monterey Pop, and I'm sure he did 3 times that many songs when it was his turn. Okay, and then we have the Otis Redding side of this album, and we have Shake, that was a Sam Cooke song. Respect, Otis Redding original. I've Been Loving You Too Long, Otis Redding and Jerry Butler. That's a fantastic song, very, very soulful. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, you know, written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Now, who knew that was going to be on here by Otis Redding? Try a Little Tenderness. Great song, great. I thought it was an Otis original, but it's not. It's Mary Woods and Jimmy Campbell. But anyway, these are fantastic songs. If you haven't listened to Otis Redding, please do yourself a favor. Just go to YouTube and Google or search Otis Redding and ask for Dock of the Bay. Oh my God. You'll go back over and over. You'll go out and buy the music. Otis Redding was great. So many great songs. Died young, unfortunately. Okay, so that was Otis Redding. Okay, now we're actually ready for the finale already. You know, and this is going to surprise a lot of people, because you wouldn't generally think of this person as a soul artist, but this guy, he just finished a big tour with his band, Kiss, end of the road tour, where it was going to be their final tour. But in 2015, he assembled, you know, all the best musicians he knew, told them what he had in mind, doing a soul album. And to a man, every one of them said, "I'm in. That's fantastic." So they got together, they did a concert. Their first concert was 2015 or 16, and it was held at the Roxy in Los Angeles. They just did a concert. They didn't make any album. The album's new. This is their first album. And of course, we're talking about, and also not just Paul Stanley, who put the band together, and basically it's his band, but here's our old friend right here, Kiss's drummer, and my granddaughter's godfather, Eric Singer. Eric Singer's right here where I'm tapping. Kiss's drummer. So Kiss's drummer came along for the ride and played drums for you. Fantastic drummer and a super nice guy. You know, I had to open this up as soon as it came in the mail, because I'd heard about what some of the songs were that were on this. I just had to hear these songs. That's all there is to it. And on the back, Paul Stanley with the big microphone. And this is a great, he assembled a fantastic group of musicians to do this soul album with him. And this is a great album. It may be my favorite soul album right now, because it's new, you know. But I mean, I really do enjoy it. So we're going to take out the vinyl, see what songs he has. There are a few originals, mostly great covers, you know. And boy, if I can get a hold of this, this is a really tight cover here. Let's see. So let me get this out here. Let me get it all out while I'm doing this. Okay, where's that picture? There's a picture in here somewhere. Well, I'm really having a hard time here tonight. I don't know. I haven't even had a drink. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so it comes with a picture, little small poster. Paul Stanley, frontman for Kiss. Okay, then we'll flip it around. And here we go. Here's the whole band down there playing. You can see my buddy Eric Singer back here on the drums. Yeah, no, this is great. I really enjoyed. Betty and I listened to this the other night. Both albums. It's a double album set, and we really enjoyed it. A lot of classic soul songs that I've listened to many times in my life. So we're going to open up the albums, and that's why I called this a surprise. Who was expecting me to unbox Paul Stanley from Kiss in a soul venue here? Okay, so here it is, and it's purple vinyl. Paul Stanley, Soul Sensation. I don't really need to show it off too much because it's perfect. I mean, it's brand new. It's only been played once. Paul Stanley, Soul Sensation. And we're going to read the songs now. Okay, side 1. Could it be I'm falling in love? Could it be I'm falling in love? IOI. Well, I'm not sure I've heard that one. IOI. The names sometimes are deceiving. Maybe I've heard it 100 times. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. That sounds very familiar. Ooh, baby, baby. Okay, let's turn this first album around to side 2. And we have, ooh, ooh, child, things are going to get easier. That's a great song. Save Me From You. Then we've got, I love this song. This is a Temptation song. Just my imagination running away with me. That's a fantastic, I love that song. That's one of my favorite Temptation songs. Okay, let's see what's on side 3 and 4, the second album. Paul Stanley, Soul Sensation. Soul Sensation. It's great. This is great music. He did a great job. The singing was good. Everything was good. Okay. Of course, purple vinyl. This was hard to get. When I first heard about it, I found out there was colored vinyl. I started searching for it online, and it was all sold out. It was all sold out. I stumbled across this, and I felt very, very lucky, and I ordered it. I couldn't help myself. Okay, so Paul Stanley. Interesting is it came with, maybe this is one of those little imperfections that's going to give this thing value. I don't know. It's got a dark spot right here. Got one little black, blotch on here. You can see it from both sides. Doesn't affect anything. It's just a black little blotch. Maybe that's why the guy sold it to me. I don't know. Anyway, side 3, we've got Whenever You're Ready, I'm Here. This is a great song, The Tracks of My Tears. That might have been Smokey Robinson and the Miracle, who incidentally, as much as I love the Temptations, I think Smokey Robinson wrote most, if not all, their big hits. He was a really, really talented man. I wish I had one of his albums. So Smokey Robinson, I'm pretty sure, was The Tracks of My Tears. And that's a great song. It's probably been covered by everybody in soul. Tracks of My Tears. Fantastic, fantastic soul song. Okay, Let's Stay Together. La 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 means I love you. I remember that song. That's a good song too. Terrible voice. Okay, that was side 3. The second album's always 3 and 4. Okay, and then here we have Lori Lee, You Are Everything, and Baby I Need Your Lovin', Got to Have All Your Lovin'. So that's it. That's it. That's all the songs on Paul Stanley's Soul Sensation. And we were talking about, I love this. I actually love this album. He does a great job singing these songs. He still has a great voice. And I got a couple of little footnotes on Paul Stanley, okay? Somebody asked him, frontman for Kiss making a soul album? I mean, what's going on with that? What gave you that idea? He goes, well, you got to remember, back in 67, 68, 66, there was no Led Zeppelin, there was no Who, there was no Jimi Hendrix and all these big bands that came in the late 60s. He goes, it sounds like me talking. He goes, all I listened to was soul music. He said he saw the Temptations in concert. He saw Otis Redding in concert. My 2 favorites, and several other bands he named. He saw them all in concert. He was a huge fan of soul. And then, of course, things changed and soul kind of got diminished and rock exploded again. And we all started listening to rock and roll. Same thing happened to me. I remember all I listened to was soul music when I was 15 and 16 years old. And then finally, Creedence Clearwater came out with Bayou Country. And the Cream came out with Disraeli's Gears. And I heard those both and I just flipped out. I went straight to the music store and bought both 8-tracks at the same time. Played them in my 55 Chevy. Had a little light bar below the dash that pulsated to the music. Anyway, and that was kind of when soul started to decline. There was so many good bands, rock and roll bands were coming out. But so later in he was being interviewed by a magazine, and they asked him, well, why the soul thing? And he goes, well, I listened to so much of it and loved it so much before I was ever in KISS that I feel like it's part of my DNA. And that's exactly how I feel. It's like it was taking the words right out of my mouth. I feel like soul is part of my DNA, and I absolutely love that music, and I still do. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in the sleeve before something happens to it. And I just want to make another mention about, we were talking about Jimi Hendrix and his place in soul music. And I had a little story I wanted to tell, and I kind of skipped over it, so I want to go back to it. Okay, there was a concert going around all over the United States called Experience Hendrix. It was 2010. And so I bought tickets to see them at the Arlington Theater in Santa Barbara. And it was just absolutely amazing. I mean, Whitford, the guitar player for Aerosmith, was playing, Joe Satriani, Johnny Lang, Eric Johnson, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Billy Cox, who played not only on the Jimi Hendrix Experience, not the original, but he came in later, and also some on Band of Gypsies. Billy Cox was there. He went out and performed on the drums and stuff like that. He was a drummer, and he was signing, autographing pictures, autographing, guitar straps and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I didn't get anything, and I really kick myself now. You don't get that many opportunities to get stuff like that. And but the most fun part of that show for me was when we mentioned the Isley Brothers earlier, that Jimi Hendrix played for the Isley Brothers, a soul band. And Jimi Hendrix, I think it's 63 through 65, I have it here somewhere. Yeah, 63 and 65, Jimi Hendrix not only played in the Isley Brothers band, but he lived with one of the Isley Brothers, okay? He lived at their house for close to 2 years and played in the band. So that was, Isley Brothers, I love the Isley Brothers. They were a big soul band and had great hits. They were on my regular playlist when I was listening to nothing but soul. So the Isley Brothers brought Jimi Hendrix into their home and gave him a place to live for close to 2 years, and he played in the band with them. But the person that told the story was the son of the Isley brother that he lived with, and his name was Ernie Isley. And he's actually well known in some circles. I've read some things about him since then. But Ernie Isley got up, and before he started playing, he goes, Jimi Hendrix lived with us when I was a little kid. And he goes, played with Dad's band, and he lived with us. And at the same time, he was giving me guitar lessons. And so he told all these stories about living with Jimi Hendrix. And this is before Jimi Hendrix was a rock god. He was playing soul in the various soul bands. So if you would have closed your eyes when Ernie Isley started playing, because the whole idea of Experience Hendrix, everybody was playing Hendrix music. They all came out individually with their bands. Oh, Living Colour was there too. They all came out individually with their bands, and then they came out, paired up with one another and played together. It was, for years, I was telling everybody it was the best concert I've ever seen in my entire life. And then a year later, I got to see the same show, Experience Hendrix, at the Avila Beach Blues Festival, just a few miles down the road. The lineup had changed a little bit, but it didn't diminish at all. I mean, Buddy Guy was there. Believe it or not, Jimi Hendrix called Buddy Guy the greatest living guitar player. And he's another one, just like Ernie Isley, I was saying, close your eyes when he's playing, you think you're listening to Hendrix. I felt the same way with Buddy Guy. He can play, and he's absolutely amazing. Very talented man. I got to see him twice in concert. I think once he was with B.B. King, and that was a great show. So anyway, I had to throw that little Hendrix trivia in there, because it really shows you just how much Hendrix was influenced by his soul music. You can't always tell when he's playing some of his crazy stuff, the stuff that I love so much. He's my favorite. But anyway, so that ties Hendrix back to the soul music, and why he's part of the unboxing tonight. I can't get enough of Hendrix. He's fantastic. Anyway, but this was the finale. It was Paul Stanley's Soul Sensation. And this is I recommend this 2-album set. This is a very, very good album. You'll love it if you buy it. Great songs. He does a great job. He put a super talented band together. Like I said, he said that he called the best musicians he knew to see if they wanted to be part of this. And they all said, absolutely. So that's tonight's unboxing. We hope you enjoyed it. Go to my YouTube channel in the playlist, Vinyl Unboxing. This is show number 7. All the shows are available. They'll be available. We're having another show next Saturday. We're doing it every Saturday, 7 p.m. We're having these little vinyl unboxing shows. They don't last too long. It's been 30-something minutes. You know, everybody's busy. We're not trying to have a 2-hour show or anything like that. But we're just trying to have a little fun and share what we know about the vinyl. So thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, give us a little hit the thumbs up button. Maybe even subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button too. And look forward to seeing you again. Look forward to doing this again many, many times. So thanks for joining us. Let's see if I can find my remote shut off. All right. Thank you.